Hi everyone, what's up out there? It's Lindsay here, reporting to you from Thailand. And I am here in my lovely five-star hotel. Just kidding, it is like a disgusting backpacker's residence in northern Thailand, and it's like moldy and gross, and I can barely breathe in here. But anyway, I'm here nonetheless, and I'm just getting ready for bed, and I wanted to share with you a few thoughts that I had today. And first and foremost, I wanted to capture this feeling that I have so that I can remind myself in the future of what I was feeling in this moment. And my feelings have kind of subsided a little bit, but I had definitely like a little emotional moment earlier today, and I wanted to share it with you as to what happened. So I have been in Thailand now for a couple of weeks, which has been a dream of mine for years. So yes, I've been traveling for a while. I traveled Europe a lot. I traveled in the US a lot, but I had obsessively thought about coming to Thailand. I really don't know why. It was just like this instinct of like, I want to go to Thailand. I want to go to Thailand. So I finally got here a couple weeks ago, and it was like this inner peace just like washed over my body of like, I finally made it. So all these little moments that I've had, and I've been traveling in Bangkok and down on the islands. I went to a full moon party, which was freaking nuts. And then I flew up north, and I'm doing the north for the next, for like about like 2 weeks or something. So a month in total. And it's just been like this series of amazing moments and seeing things that I never saw before, and definitely having those moments where I am like, oh my gosh, this is why I wanted to come here. But today, I went on a group tour, which normally isn't my style, but considering I just had my 33rd birthday in August, I decided to have my month of Thailand kind of be like my gift to myself for my birthday. So I had somebody help me plan out all of my adventures and print me an itinerary, which I must say it's kind of nice as a solo traveler because I'm so used to having to figure out by myself every step of the way. So it was very nice to get handed an envelope of like, this is your itinerary, this is what you're doing. So she had suggested that I do this day trip tour to Chiang Rai because I'm staying in Chiang Mai, which is a northern city in Thailand. And I went about my day. I just actually had come back from trekking in the jungle for 2 days and 3 nights, which was incredible. Our guide was just awesome. Didn't sleep like pretty much at all, but it was a really neat experience. So I got back from the jungle yesterday and managed to maybe get a couple hours of sleep, and then had to be up bright and early this morning. And I was going to this White Temple, and then this place called the Golden Triangle, which is where Myanmar or Myanmar, um, which is Burma, and Laos and Thailand all come together at the point. So we went there, and we went on this boat up into the river, and then we had about 30 minutes in Laos to go in like this little market and stuff. And I was enjoying it up to then, and everything was great. But when we got off the boat in Laos, there was these kids, and I kid you not, like the little girl had to be no older than 6, and she had an infant that could have been no more than 2 months strapped to her chest with like a wrapping or something. And it was her, and then there was a little boy who was probably 4 years old with another baby, like a real baby, a real human baby. Like at first I thought it was just like a doll, but no, it was like a real live baby, strapped to him, and some other little kids, and they were begging for money. And I was one of the last people to get off the boat, and like my heart immediately broke. Like I'm so sensitive to that stuff, and just seeing that, it was like I've been to third world countries before, and I've seen different things, but for some reason, when it's a kid, it just like no kid should be doing that. And I, got off the boat, and we went in, and I walked around, and when we were waiting to get back on the boat, I saw like the group of kids that I had originally seen like off over onto the side. And then there was a little boy that came up to me, and I reached in and I gave him about 100 baht, which is like a couple bucks. It's really nothing. And his little excitement, like he literally jumped for joy and like smiled, and it was great because for me it's like nothing, it's a couple dollars, but for him, you know, it was like this, he felt like it was like this big score. So like I had this like little moment of joy, even though it's not something significant. It's like I did what I could in that moment. Well, then obviously those kids are like professionals, so he like alerted his other friend, and then all the other kids came running up, and you know I gave out like a, you know, it was like the amount of maybe $10, and they were excited, and I do recognize like this is what they do, and yes, they're probably told by their parents to go and do this, but for me it's like $10 to me in their pocket. I don't know exactly where it's going, but that's not for me to decide. I can only decide in that moment as if I'm going to be giving or not. And so this obviously attracted kids, and there was a big group of us getting back on the boat, and nobody else was giving anything, and you know, it's whatever, and no judgment there. But what really irritated me was that there was this one Spanish girl that was part of our group, which she was with three of her friends, like super obnoxious, you know, just chatting and being super loud the whole time we were in our group. And she turned around and took it upon herself to walk up to me and tell me to stop and to stop giving my money and that it was a business. And I just like looked at her and I was like, I had to bite my tongue because it's like, number one, this is my money. This isn't for you to decide. And number two, like, don't shame me into doing something that is that's nice, it's giving. Like, yeah, who knows what the business could be, but if it's going back to the parents or it's going back to whatever, it's, you know, I can only hope that it would be going to feed these kids or help out with their family. And it just, I cannot believe that another person in a moment of feeling so full in your heart that, okay, yeah, I'm able to at least help a little bit at this small little place of the earth, that, you know, she took it upon herself to kind of like be like, oh, you're being an idiot, like they're scamming you. And I just like, it gave me this just like, oh, feeling. And then I just decided to brush it off because obviously it's just a difference of mentality. And you know, I got back on the boat, but just like the images of these kids and everything just kind of stuck with me and almost like brought me to tears. But then in that moment, it's like my mind was just going a mile a minute of like, what can I do? How can I make a difference? Like, I need to start my business. I need to stop being like a pansy and worrying about what everything I need to do and just get going. Because I actually said to the one girl in our group, I'm like, it's moments like that like, you know, I obviously, you know, I have everything that I need in my life. Like, I'm good in that aspect, and I feel very blessed. But in the same regard, it's like I'm very motivated to make a really good income so that I can help others. And it's moments like this that made me really like realize that I need to like get over myself and start using my skills and my knowledge to help other people and to be able to create change and help others. Because for me, regardless of these kids like doing this every day or not, in my belief is that, you know, no kid should be doing that. You know, should be on the streets and they were in filthy clothes and shoeless, and that, you know, people that come from, you know, a first world country or a place that they have everything that they need. And the thing that really ticked me off is like they're coming here to buy like knockoff designer purses, and then yet, you know, they'll spend their money on that but can't turn around and give a child a couple $100. So I don't know, I just really wanted to capture this story for myself so that I can remember this moment, but I also wanted to share with other people as to, you know, what's going on. And I didn't really rehearse this at all, but I just wanted to get it out there. So anyway, I am definitely very, very exhausted, so I'm going to get going to sleep now, and because I am off to a different city. I'm off to Pi in the morning. So happy travels, everybody. I hope this story wasn't like too depressing. I just wanted to kind of share this travel moment because it was definitely a significant feeling for me. It's the kind of the first time that I've ever really kind of like felt like my heart break while I was traveling to see stuff that I've seen. But alright, Good night, sweet dreams.